Happy video day, guys. Today we're going to be talking about something that I actually saw another YouTuber do, and it was Michelle Wong, and I was like, ooh, that's a good idea. I want to do that. So she did a video saying that if she can only keep 10 eyeshadow palettes, which ones would they be? And I wanted to do that as well because I was like, which ones would they be? So I really asked myself that question. If I can only keep 10, which ones would they be? And I sat there for a minute going, I don't know. So I decided that this might be a really fun video to film, and when I started going through my collection, I was able to pull 10 eyeshadow palettes that from my whole collection, if I could only keep 10 of them and I had to dump everything else, these are the ones that I would keep. And I'm keeping them for different reasons. So it's not necessarily like my favorite eyeshadow palettes in the entire world, but I feel like these are the ones that I've used the most. Different reasons, different aesthetics that I'm like, I couldn't not have this. So I added them into my top 10 of eyeshadow palettes that if I had to get rid of everything else, these are the ones that I was going to keep. So if you guys are excited for this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you guys can see me again, and also you can give me those thumbs up. It does help me know that you guys like the video, and let's get into it right now. All right. So I have them all laying here in front of me. And like at first I kind of thought like, oh my God, I'm never gonna be able to figure this out. But then when I started looking through my palettes, I will tell you guys, there is certain eyeshadow palettes that automatically I grabbed and I was like, yeah, I can't. No, yeah, I can't leave this one out. So I picked 10 of them, and these are the 10 that I really think are like necessities in my life right now. The first one is the Soft Glam from Anastasia. So I literally bought this years after it released. And I say that because I think it released last year and I bought it this year. So this was like an older eyeshadow palette, so old, but it released, I think it was last year, and I decided to buy it this year, and I'm obsessed with this palette. I literally feel like this is like a must-have palette for me right now. I've got my winter eyes, autumn eyes, I've also got my summer eyes, I've got an orange here, I can do some fall eyes. I've got all my eye looks right here. This is like a go-to, amazing, very versatile palette, and I was like, yeah. If I can only keep 10, I would definitely keep that one because I feel like I've got so much in one palette that I'm good to go. So the other one would be this one. So this was a Charlotte Tilbury holiday release. This is the Starry Eyes to Hypnotize, and I really like this palette. And there's multiple reasons. It's because it has this really beautiful green that I'm like obsessed with that looks so gorgeous all over the lid. And the eye looks that I create with this palette are just very effortless, but very pretty, and they just look good. So if I want to go to the office, this is like a really easy palette to use. I also have my nice little black here to smoke out my outer edges, which sometimes I like to do even during the day, like if I'm going to the office or something. So this has been like a really nice, very easy to use palette, and it's travel friendly because it's hard case. Charlotte's formula is amazing, and this palette, you get so many different colors and you didn't have to pay as much as her little quads, and that's Charlotte's formula. Like, it's really, really good. So I'm obsessed with that. So I was thinking I need to add some Natasha Denona. So there's a few Natasha Denonas in here. The new retro palette I had to add because I'm obsessed with this palette, guys. I've been using it so much, and it's really funny for me to really love a brand new release as much as this one. This pink is like a dusty rose that I'm like obsessed with. Like, it's like my type of pink. It's very light, but you see it, and it's just very pretty. It's very demure. It's very soft and light and airy and gorgeous green that I'm obsessed with, and it's and then this color right here is also insanely good. So this is just my vibes, you know, like from my day to day. This is an amazing palette for me. I'm loving it. So yeah, I would need to have it. Another one, and I feel like I kind of like wasted space here because I could have gotten palettes that had like 5 million shades, but when you find like really good quality and you just love the shades in it, it just doesn't really matter that there's like not 500 of them. I like this little guy too. This is the Mini Glam from Natasha Denona. This palette is insanely good. I love it all together. I use this so often, and I've found it to be a very, very good go-to palette for me, and I really, really enjoy it a lot. So those two, I mean, somebody would say, well, why didn't you just pick the Metropolis palette and throw it in there? You get a lot more colors. But I feel like even in the Metropolis palette, I don't use all those colors as much as I use these two. So they're more like palettes that I would want to keep. I'm going to jump away from Natasha Denona for a minute because there's a few Natasha Denonas. Huda Beauty, the Mauve Obsessions. I love this. So if I want to do like that eggplant mauve look, this gives it to me. And this is a beautiful, beautiful palette. This is like my type of purples. I think I've told you guys before, like purple is not like my favorite color, but I really love like eggplant purple, like this type of purple. This is where I start to love. This is like my colors in the mauve family. Not too mauve, but I really love like that type. I just think that they look just so pretty together, more than like the pinky purples. So I love this Huda palette. I think this is an amazing one. You get so many colors. And so I started having a little bit of a hard time now because I know I had to put something colorful, because I mean, if I'm only going to keep 10 palettes, I need to have color, because I'm not always wanting to do like brown and, you know, subtle eyes. So I grabbed this one. So this is the Juvia's Place Masquerade Mini. This palette just gives me color, but it gives me good color, and it just is flattering. And every look that I've ever created using the Juvia's Place Masquerade Mini has been good. It gives me a really nice variation, so I really love this. I got a lot of fun little colors down here that I can play with and can create really gorgeous colorful looks, but I also got some nice little brown tones up here that I can mix with some of my other palettes. This palette has been a really, really nice colorful palette that I have really loved. So I said, you know what, if I can only keep 10, I definitely would have that one, because I want to add a little pizzazz to the eyes, so why not? This is funny, but I added this one because I used it on my eyes today, and I said, damn, I love this eye look. And I said, you know what, I should create this eye look more often, and it's from this one. So this is the McGrath Mothership V. Okay, so this palette is just like one of those palettes that you spend so much money on, and then you say, why did I spend so much money on a palette? And then you later on say, because I come out with some beautiful eye looks. That's this guy. And I really like it a lot. I like the looks that I come out with. There's nothing like this formula down here in any palette. It's just so gorgeous and amazing that, I mean, I had to keep it, you know. We're down to 3, and I didn't do a good job at putting variants here because there are 3 Natasha Denonas. This one, the gold palette. Oh my god. There is nothing like this palette. I love it so much. And yes, I feel like I added a lot of browns, and there's already a lot of browns in here, but this palette is just, it's just so good. You've got all the golds you could ever want. You've got the most beautiful browns in here. You can do beautiful smoky eyes, kind of like the eye look I have on right now is basically something I could create with this one as well. So whatever. This is an amazing palette, and I love the blue in here. There's a really pretty blue, and you could kind of smoke out the lower lash line or the outer edge with that blue, and it looks really amazing. So I really love that palette. And I have 2 more, and they're both Natasha Denona's, because I just feel like I really love Natasha Denona's formula, and I really love her curation of colors. So I feel like that's why I have so many of hers. Safari. So now the reason I would want to keep Safari is because the matte selection in here is just insane. I get so many matte tones in here, but it also gives me a lot of matte colors. So I feel like sometimes when you work with any of these other palettes like these, sometimes they love to add like a lot of the metallics in here, because like metallics are really fun to look at. So a lot of palettes have like a lot of metallics going on, and then sometimes they forget to give you mattes. So I feel like this one just being an all matte palette and being Natasha Denona's formula is like a must-have for me, because I can mix it with a lot of these other palettes and have really amazing eye looks. And also real matte looking eyes are really in. I tend to always forget to do them, because when you start playing with color, you just want to add some glitter everywhere. Like you get like really into it and you're like, glitter, I need to add pizzazz, you know. But matte eye looks are really, really gorgeous, so that's why I added that one. And then the last one that I would say would be on my 10 eyeshadow palettes that I would definitely need to have would be this one. So this is from Natasha Denona again, and this is the Sunrise palette. And you know, there's a few reasons why this one would be in there. First off, because it's a midi palette and I didn't feel like I spent that much money on it, but I think that I got a really good amount of colors in here, and very useful colors. We have our colors over here that can give me like a really nice spring look, very light and airy, very pretty. But and then over here, we can just like really vamp things up. We can go into some colors. We can also do some fall looks. And I feel like you just have a variation of colors here. Like typically somebody would look at this and say, this is a fall palette, but it's not. I feel like this is a spring and fall palette. I feel like you can do so many different looks with this, and it's an amazing formula. And when I was looking through like the ones that I kept, I felt like, well, I don't really have too many like colors to make like those real sunrise looking eyes, and I felt like I needed to have something that would give me that really pretty vampy sunset sunrise eye, and this gives it to me, and it gives it to me in an amazing formula. So yeah, I feel like if I were to have to keep 10 palettes, those would be the 10 that I would pick. Now I will tell you guys, I've got some pretty good palettes that I love that I didn't include here because I just felt like some of the colors may be a little bit over, like it might be a little bit redundant. Like if I had browns, I didn't really need to put another brown. Like I really like the Viseart Paris Edit, is a really good palette, but since I have the Soft Glam in here, I didn't really feel like I needed that one as well because it would kind of like be overlapping with colors. But yeah, those would be the 10, and I really honestly love these so much. And I know they're mostly higher end palettes except for the Juvia's Place one, but the quality of the shadows are just so insane. And I've told you guys this before, like the collection of eyeshadow that I have now are eyeshadows that I am obsessed with, that I really love. And a lot of the ones that I didn't love, I kind of decluttered them. So I feel like to actually even get 10 of the ones that I really like was hard because I do have a lot of eyeshadow that I really love. But yeah, these would definitely be the 10. And I probably could even limit this down to even 5 if I really had to. It was a little bit more difficult for me because I feel like sometimes certain eyeshadow palettes, like I stick to like the same type of colors, you know, like those are the colors I love. And then when you have to only pick 10, you know that you can't add like all of the same color because then you're gonna have like 10 eyeshadow palettes that are the same, you know? So I had to jump into different palettes that had different colors and like kind of like just get my mind in that kind of in that zone. And I feel like these would be great. The only thing I think I'm missing still is missing a nice green palette. Natasha Denona needs to do this for me. She needs to give me a green palette that has like some really pretty greens in there. But anyways, guys, let me know down below what would be the 10 palettes that you literally couldn't live without. I want to know down below. Leave me those comments. I want to know. And if you guys are interested in any of these palettes, of course, I link them down below. If you guys want to support the channel, you can go ahead and use those links. And yeah, that's it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.